Welcome to Beauty in the Breakup podcast. I am Julie Tootin, and I invite you to the possibility of moving beyond the upset and creating your lighter and brighter future. This episode is a recorded Zoom call that I had with questions from people all over the world, translated by amazing translators, and I thought it would be a great episode, so I hope you enjoy it. Well, welcome everybody to a free Zoom call with me, certified facilitator for 23 years, Julie Tootin. I'm located in California and facilitate all over the world, and I'm looking to connect with people all over and spread the beautiful Access Consciousness tools to create ease, joy, and glory for you and empower you to create the life that you'd love to be living. So today's topic is all about relationships and what questions you have. I am the author of a book, Beauty in the Breakup, which uses the Access tools to facilitate you finding you and unwinding from all of your relationships so that you can start to get a sense for who you are and what you'd like to create, and using your internal compass to make choices that are more aligned with what you'd like to be in the world. So it doesn't mean that you have to break up with anybody. It's about not breaking up with you. Oh, and somebody said, let me see if I can get the chat. Somebody said, I just bought the book and almost finished. Oh, thank you. I'm glad you liked it. After 5 years of being an Access certified facilitator and being married for 20 years, it was really apparent that our relationship wasn't working anymore. And so I used the tools to facilitate our breakup. And Gary, the founder of Access, actually asked me to write the book because he said, you're doing this so differently than other people, and the world needs to know it. So this book is great for anybody, whether they've heard of Access or not. It gives them the tools to make different choices. And probably the biggest thing is to come out of the wrongness that a relationship isn't working. And that can be any relationship. If a relationship isn't working, we have to look at it and go, okay, what can we change? What else is possible? Not I'm wrong or they're wrong and go into the wrongness and create this anger and resentment to create the separation and the change. You can actually be kind to you, be kind to them, and create something different. And oftentimes I hear people use these tools and they actually are surprised that they can create a better relationship instead of having to leave. And that's what I did the first 5 years that I was in Access. It did create our relationship better, but the more conscious you become, the less you can hide things and sweep them under the rug. So it was just time. And what if the end of a relationship wasn't a wrongness, but you get to find out how strong you are in facing it and choosing something different? So I am here for you, to empower you, to share tools. So if anybody has questions, please feel free to unmute and we'll translate if we need translation. What can I contribute to you? And if you don't mind, just come off of mute rather than typing in the chat, because I'm not very good at reading the chat. Pretty please. Can you come off mute and ask your question? Don't be afraid. It's just us. Nobody wants to go. What are we here for?
So it's the question is the Arabic line. She's saying after attending access classes like the foundation and access parts, she realized that her husband is not the person.
Mhm,
And then we broke
يعني
up and I got upset.
mhm.
So my question is about how can I get rid of this upset and all this confusion? I would like some clarity.
Okay. So this occurs with most people. When you become more conscious, you become aware of their thoughts and feelings and lots of other people's as well. So it sounds like you chose and you were aware that their relationship didn't work and you chose something different. So, truth, is it your upset or is it his or someone or something else?
Something else.
So, when it's not yours, you can return it to sender, or you can also pay it forward to whoever is looking for that energy, but recognize that it's not yours and it immediately shifts. I had a several year relationship after my divorce that ended. And I remember going to my son's college parents' weekend and I was going to bring him, and we broke up. So I didn't bring him. And I was so used to relating to him when there were things going on. And I remember just constantly being like, oh, I want to tell him this, or, oh, you feel those things from the past and they creep in. And I used all the tools of this book. So when stuff from the past comes up, that's step 2. And the tools in step 2 are, let me just see, because I don't remember off the top of my head. Destroy and uncreate POC and POD, everything that is, and realize that it's not yours. So you can destroy and uncreate and return to sender. And then all of a sudden, all those feelings go away. When we think they're ours and they're not, it sticks and it doesn't change. But if you've used the access tools and you've been to bars and foundation, you know that things shift immediately when there's a stickiness in your world. It can be a truth with a lie attached. So, yes, you're sad and you're missing them, but the lie could be that the upset is not yours, it's theirs. And so when you destroy and uncreate all of that, when you spot the lie, all the energy dissipates and you're not stuck with it. Does that make sense? And does that help?
okay.
It's amazing how many times it is theirs. Even on, future dates, if you go on dates, I've been on lots of dates. And at the end of the evening, I'd go home and I'd be like, oh, I like them. And then maybe I'd meet them again and I'd be like, oh, I do not like them. Oh my gosh, that was them liking me. So when you when you have this, oh, I really like them, I want to see them again, ask truth, is that my point of view or is that them wanting to see me again? It's amazing how many times it's not yours.
Hello. She's saying thank you. It was right on time.
Awesome. Yeah. And, it doesn't mean that you don't have feelings and you don't have connections, but when you're choosing consciousness, there's a lightness to it. When you like somebody, there's a lightness and an expansiveness. There's not this needy, heavy, contracted energy around it. So we have to build the muscle of our awareness and use the tools to create the ease and the lightness. So step 3 in the book, your compass, finding your internal navigation system. This is where you'll start choosing what's light, even though it doesn't make sense. You're like, oh my gosh, I'm so sad. I miss him. And it's like, that feels really heavy. Maybe I'm happy. I get an adventure. I get to meet new people. I get to be by myself for a moment or for a long time, whatever works for me. And yes, you can miss them, but there can be a lightness to it when it's true. And there's always a heaviness when there's a lie. So, what would it be like to not lie to ourselves anymore? Other questions? Yeah.
So, how do you, like, if you're aware of,
Can you turn your volume up a little, honey?
uh, can you hear me?
Yeah, it's just really quiet. Go ahead.
If you're aware of lies, like that the person is lying, how do you navigate that? Because my tendency is to ask them more questions or confront that. Um, but, um, but, but I just believe what they say anyways. But yeah.
Mhm. Well, everybody lies. Gary Douglas, founder of Access, says if somebody's opening their mouth and speaking, they're lying. How many times have you seen a couple and you know that it's not good, but they pretend, oh, we're fabulous. Everything's great. Everybody lies. It's okay. You don't have to confront it. You can just know for yourself what's true for you and choose based on that. And what would it take for us to not lie to ourselves? It's like, don't put your trust outside of you into somebody else. Don't trust me, trust you. And if somebody's lying to you, be like, oh, wow, they're lying. How can I use this to my advantage? Anybody else? More questions? You're such a quiet group. I know relationships are tricky,
So, like,
but
the two parties don't need to agree on anything.
no,
Okay.
no, the two parties do not need to agree. Actually, the lady that spoke about the 5 elements of intimacy was Gary's friend, Mary. I don't believe I met Mary, but I remember him talking about her a lot when at the end of her life, she lived in his house for a while. And she talked about how when you honor your partner and you have gratitude and allowance and trust, that you don't have to agree, you don't have to have the same anything. Her husband was very mental and logical, and she was spiritual, and she wouldn't try to push him into being spiritual. And around his business partners, she would be normal and keep her mouth shut. But other times, she was doing and being her magic. And he honored her, and he like filled the car with gas and like did all the practical things. And she created the magic in the relationship. And it can work that way. You be you, let them be them, and trust your awareness. Always follow what's light for you.
What makes something a relationship?
Well, the definition of a relationship is the distance between two objects. So when you start out, you're pretty close, but the longer you're in relationship, the greater the distance grows, which is why in Access, we share the tool of destroying and uncreating your relationship. So it destroys that space so that you can be close again, or using the term creationship so that you're creating your connection every day.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Who else? What else?
So my question is, I got married 6 months ago, and I feel like everything has stopped. And every step I would like to make, I have to take his opinion, as if I don't, I cannot do those things. So how can I have space with him and another possibility so I can do the things I really like? And the money, and he supports me with money.
Well, before you got married, were you able to do whatever you like?
بالكاد لا.
Not really.
Okay, so has that really changed?
بقى أسوأ.
It actually became worse. Did you hear me?
No, it cut
Oh,
out.
م?
it's okay. It got worse.
Ah, well, how does it get better than this? You know, it's interesting um, how relationships and the spirit world entities have this similar thing, because you can't really see the pressure that gets created from a relationship, and you can't see entities for the most part. But it gets more intense when we're not listening to our own awareness. And it doesn't mean that we're wrong. Nobody's taught us to listen to our awareness. And actually, we've been taught away from our awareness, right? So there's many steps to regaining your trust in yourself and being willing to look at the situation, to ask questions, to communicate with your partner, and ask questions around what you're creating together to see what else is possible. Because if you're not happy, chances are he's not happy either. And instead of stuffing it down, you could face it. I know it seems scary, but you just have to jump. It's like standing at the edge of the cliff and finding out that you have wings, or is not a very far drop. With my husband, we were married 20 years. We were best friends. We did everything together. We had 2 children, and we were doing all the things in this reality to make a great relationship, and it looked great, but it was obvious that it wasn't really working for either of us. And the day that I brought up all the courage that I had to just say, you know what? I think we're better friends than lovers. It was like, oh, thank God. He was like, yeah, you're right. It was such a weight off. So we have to be willing to face those things that we fear. And much like the spirit world and talk to the entities, if you've ever considered that class, is that same like it brings up this energy, but that is your potency. And when you turn towards it and step into it, this huge weight comes off and this amazing strength shows up. It actually contributes to your life, to your greatness, to your possibilities. And there's another hand raised. Go for it.
Hello, and thank you. How can we overcome attachment?
Attachment to what?
So in my relationship, I'm facing a lot of abandonment.
Mm,
And even if I have decided to go or to let go of the relationship, I always come back because of those feelings, the attachment.
mm,
Although I am aware, totally aware that this relationship is not working.
yeah. Yeah. So have you worked with the 5 elements of intimacy?
So with myself, yes, I'm destroying and creating everywhere I'm not being them in my life. And I'm trying to increase it in my life.
Okay. The thing about abandonment is that's it's I think it's a truth with a lie attached. It's not real. Truth, can you be abandoned? It's almost like when people say they're lonely. You can be alone, but are you really lonely? Because like there's so much around everywhere. And it's only when we abandon ourselves that we feel abandoned. If you have you, it doesn't matter what other people are doing or being. So using those 5 elements to truly, truly trust you, to have your own back, may cause some discomfort in the separation, but hopefully you're choosing that because you know that that's actually going to create greater instead of creating less. And having allowance.
يعني أنا بقول
Mm-hmm.
يعني أنا بقول إنه بالأخير هم سووا رغبتي. يعني هم حقيقي لما بيكونوا مبتعدين عني هم سووا رغبتي إنه أنا اللي أبغى أبتعد بس ماني قادرة. بس بالرغم من ذلك أنا اللي برجع.
So basically, when those people leave, they are actually actualizing what I would like to do to leave. And when we are separated, I am the one who comes back.
مع الكثير من البكاء والتراما والدراما.
And there is a lot of crying and drama and trauma.
Awesome. Are you enjoying it?
آه أيوة. يس.
We are amazing creators. We can create trauma drama. We can create peace. And it's a choice. It's not right or wrong.
يمكن بخلقه كمان عشان أوضح قد إيش كان حبي عظيم.
I might have been creating that because I would like to show how good my love was.
Yeah. Okay. Well, whenever you want, you can stop. Or you can act trauma drama, but not by your own act. And then it's maybe a little easier on your body.
بس
So,
كيف ممكن أستوعب إنه أحد كل ده اللي أنا عليه من جمال وروعة راح؟ كيف قدر؟ المفروض هو اللي يتعلق.
It should be the other way around. It should be him who is attached because I am such a beautiful and great person.
yeah. So, how psychic are you? And are you acting out what he's feeling?
يعني
So, we
هذه مشاعره
have time
هو.
for one more question.
أوكي
Oh, they put their
خلاص هو هذا. شكرا. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Who was the other person? So,
there is a question in the chat.
okay.
How can I create a relationship or start a yummy relationship?
I'm sorry, what was the last part of that?
How can I create a yummy relationship?
A
Yummy.
yummy relationship. Mm, yeah. Well, 6 questions that you can ask when you're looking at a potential partner. Will it be easy? Will it be fun? Will I learn something? Will they be grateful? Will I be happier afterwards? And will it make me money? If you get yeses for all of that, that's a potential person to create a yummy relationship. But you have to trust yourself and be honest with yourself in answering those questions. Because if it is heavy for any of those, you can still go there, but you'll find out you're correct. And it's not going to turn out great. Yummy requires you to be aware. You cannot cut off your awareness and create this picture perfect relationship and have you in it. So it may take a little bit longer. It may not, to find somebody with all of those energetic, expansive areas. But you can ask for it. What would it take to attract somebody to my life that would expand my life and allow me to be me and them to be them? And anything less, would that be honoring of you? How many of you give yourselves up for a relationship? I know I did all the time. And then I tried to get it right and use the tools to get it right. And so that didn't work either. So it's not about being right. It's about choosing light. It doesn't always look the way we think. We have to stop looking with our eyes and start perceiving, using our perceiving, knowing, receiving, and being to expand our choices into the future and perceive if they're light or contractive, and choose the ones that are light. I see there's another hand. I would love to continue this conversation. If you guys are interested in doing something more with me, please let me know. And I will recommend, even though it seems probably left field, I will recommend Talk to the Entities beginning class, because in that class you learn how to flex your muscles of awareness. It's like a boot camp for awareness. And it is interesting how related entities and relationships are, because you're actually having a relationship with a being that is an entity. And it could be that you're attracted to them because you had a past life with them or some such thing. So that's one possibility I do have coming up in May that you can choose. And we do have Arabic translation currently. Other than that, I think we'll also create some Beauty in the Breakup calls. If you're interested, I would love to have you. Should we do that one last question or leave you wanting more? You're saying yes. Okay, go for it. Akram, you have to unmute to ask. I saw there was a comment, somebody said symphony energies. I was in the first symphony class with Dane. I was in the first body classes. I was in the first of a lot of classes as I've been in Access since 2003. And it's amazing how much you become the tools and I don't think, oh, now I'm going to do symphony. It's just you become these energies the more you practice the tools. So I invite you to start looking at and maybe acknowledging where you are being the tools as well. Thank you so much, everybody, for showing up. I would have loved to seen all your faces, and I understand. It's scary, but I'm not that scary, am I? So come and play. Take care. Thank you for listening to Beauty in the Breakup podcast. If you enjoyed the tools and information in this podcast, please leave a 5